It's the National Football League on EA Sports, and we've got some history in this battle of AFL alumni. It's the New York Jets and the Cincinnati Bengals, and it's coming up next on Madden Football.
Banked by the Ohio River and the city's abundance of hills, we're at Paycor Stadium here in Cincinnati, Ohio. Thanks for joining us, everyone. With my partner, Brock Heward, I'm Kate Scott. And like so many matchups in the NFL, Brock, our focus goes right to the quarterbacks in this one. Both of these guys, players who've been around the league now for some time, they definitely established themselves as veterans who know how to win football games.
Yeah, I think the word of the day, Kate, is definitely experience. Two guys who've been through the season several times over, have seen a lot at this point in their career, and been through quite a bit on the field. All that experience is stored up there right between the ears. And the one who is more skilled at leveraging that experience, more than likely is going to come away with the win.
Ready to get this game started. Here's Evan McPherson. And we're off and running at Paycor Stadium. Xavier Gibson now to return. And he's brought down just inside the 25 on the return. So the Jets take the field for their first drive. They're led out by one of the game's most tenured veterans and most decorated quarterbacks of all time, Aaron Rodgers.
I think it's safe to say, Kate, Aaron Rodgers may be one of the most polarizing figures in the NFL, but there is nobody that will question his ability to spin a football different than everybody else. Just ask his receivers, tight ends, running backs, anybody that's ever played with him. He elevates their game, and he often elevates his own game to an MVP kind of level.
They'll start this one out with Hall. A lot of grass ahead. And they catch up to him, but not until he's got a huge gain and a first down. That one goes for 25 yards. And it's good enough for a New York first down.
Best run games in this league at balance. Can run it inside, and as they just showed right there, doing damage on the outside.
First down throw by Rodgers. Malachi Corley reels it in. Good little whip there. Looks like about 6. Jermaine Pratt with the play defensively. After a good pickup, they've got 2nd and 4. They'll go right side with Hall. Doesn't get much beyond the line, a yard at most. Brought down by the veteran, Von Bell. Only a yard on the pickup, so that's going to bring them to 3rd down and 3. They send a tight end in motion. 3rd down give to Hall. And he'll pick up enough to move the chains.
I don't know what it is, Kate, but I love 3rd down runs. I really do. I know the receivers don't always like it because it's money down, they want the ball, but a 3rd down run for a first down can be so demoralizing to that defense.
New set of downs for him at the 38. First down, and they go right back to him. And this is pushed ahead for a gain of 5. The play brought to an end by Logan Wilson. First down play nets him 5. It's going to be 2nd and 5.
You know, Kate, these are some of the little hidden plays in a game. Right? Doesn't look like a whole lot on the stat sheet, but A, it gets you good yardage. B, it sets up your play action. And C, most importantly, keeps that defense guessing.
And they've got him down near the red zone at the 22. And that one goes for a gain of 11. And it'll give the Jets a first down.
You know, Kate, if you notice those guys that love to feed themselves on the field, right? They love to just get more and more. They're hungry for even more. I'll tell you what, that tackle, it prevented something that's going to be a lot bigger, but that back remains hungry.
Throwing on first down, Rodgers. That one falls incomplete, but our attention's still behind the line. He got cleaned after that throw and drew the instant flag. Man, there's no way around this, Brock. They had that offense exactly where they wanted them, and the penalty gives them a whole lot more breathing room.
Yeah, I'm thinking of the late, great Dennis Green. He said it perfectly. We had him right where we wanted, and we let him off the hook.
Here's Rodgers on 1st and 10. Has it in close. And this one's stopped at the 3-yard line. After a good pickup, they're set up with 2nd and short. Coming right is Hall. And he runs it across. Touchdown! The Jets finish up an excellent opening series. Breece Hall with the touchdown. What an outstanding opening series, partner. They just wore down that defense as they marched their way to the end zone.
Yeah, it took a whole bunch of that opening script to find a touchdown, but it showed just how well designed that script was. It was the right sequence of plays to keep that ball moving and find the end zone while getting your offense established in its top gear right here early on.
Greg Zuerlein for the point after try. Right down the middle, it's good. And the Jets will jump out to a 7-0 lead.
Bengals nothing.
Zuerlein has it all teed up and ready to send it away. Here's a return from the 7. And he's going to make this to the 28 before going down. So here come the Bengals, ready for their opening drive. They're led out by the legend over in LSU, the former #1 overall pick in 2020, Joe Burrow.
When Joe Burrow's between the white lines, he's one of the game's best and most entertaining quarterbacks. He just has a cool factor that is the envy of so many. Nothing seems to bother them other than some injuries that unfortunately have ended seasons early. When he's on the field, the timing, the anticipation, Kate, the precision with which he plays, he has very few peers.
First give of the game here to Chase Brown. And he gets him around 6 there. Tackle made by Chuck Clark. Give him around 6. That's going to make it 2nd and 4.
I'm not kidding you, Kate. A run of that length at the NFL level, honestly, is the equivalent of a run of 15+ at the high school level. It's hard in the run game to make yards, and they just got a very successful one.
They'll run again with Brown. Still finding room past the 45. And they'll finally get him at the 47-yard line. Give him 13 on that play. And it'll be first down, Bengals.
He easily had the yardage for a first, but he was hungry for a lot more. I think that tackle prevented something that was going to be a lot bigger than just a first down pickup.
Going to the ground again on first. And not a lot of room for him as he's brought down. It's a gain of 3 for him. That brings up 2nd and 7.
I know that may look like a whole lot of nothing burger on the stat sheet, but those are the kind of plays, that inside run, that you see creative play action come off of later in the game.
2nd down now, 7 to go. Here's Brown again. And they'll manage to contain him after about a 6-yard pickup. Brought to a halt by C.J. Mosley. That's going to be a gain of 6, and they need only inches now here on 3rd down.
That is just a good, solid run right there. I know, it's pretty basic commentary, but sometimes football can be basic. It keeps you on schedule. That kind of yards per carry, and you move the sticks.
Complete beyond the marker. And he's tackled with the first down yardage. Burrow from the gun. Got his target, it's Higgins. And he's out of bounds, just short of the 30. Halfway to the marker, it's 2nd and 5. From the 31. And the cover just too good there. Didn't find a throw that he was confident in, so just throws it away. 3rd down coming up.
Well, you certainly want those throws to be automatic. Every team, if you're going to be efficient, you got to hit those passes in the short to intermediate zone to effectively move the ball in this league.
To throw again, it's Burrow. Chase caught him deep behind the line. Oh, the ball is out! And this is scooped up by the Jets!
You know what separates good defenses from great? Good defenses find a way to get off the field. Great defenses find a way to take the ball away. What a great play to set their offense up with some mojo.
Nice field position for the Jets as they come up 1st and 10. Here's a give to Hall. And he could only get a lone yard. Took a couple of guys to haul him down near the line. So before they can set up for another play, we've hit the end of the 1st quarter. Neither side separating much so far. We're back to Paycor Stadium right after this. Time for the 2nd quarter of play. It's Jets football. They have 2nd and 9 for their first play. Working out of the gun, it's Rodgers. Into the hands of Garrett Wilson. And he's brought down right in the neighborhood of that 40-yard line. They come through with a nice gain there. Gain of 10, 1st down. Rodgers here from the gun. He's got the hook up to Adams. And he's got a decent gain before being brought down. Halfway to the marker, it's 2nd and 5. Rodgers set to pass. And he doesn't see a window he likes, so he just got rid of that one. And brings up 3rd down.
That is normally a gimme for this offense, these short throws. But the defense, well, they had just enough influence on that play to force the incompletion.
Last pass unsuccessful, and they have 3rd down here. Throwing once again, Rodgers. That one is incomplete. Couldn't hang on through the contact. Just couldn't hang on through the contact. And that leaves them with 4th and 5. Man, that was a chain mover if he would have held on, Brock, but the contact just too much to do so.
Yeah, he's going to be disappointed in himself because you've got to make these contested catches, but I do give a lot of credit. An outstanding effort defensively to force that ball out.
And this kick is good. He needed to get all of it there, and he did. And their special teams converts to get them something out of that possession.
I know we see these kickers make kicks from this distance all the time, but it never ceases to be impressive. Everything's on the dot, and it's a big 3 points.
Zerline has it all teed up and ready to send it away. This one's fielded at the 40-yard line. And this drive will start inside the 25. The Bengals all set to go for their 2nd drive. They now trail by double digits after that last score, Brock. It's 10-0 partway through here. Offense ready to begin this drive. 1st and 10. Burrow out of the shotgun. Defender arrives right as the ball does, and the hit knocks it free. Incomplete.
Making it harder than it needs to be right there. Just get the catch first. Guarantee some yards. And then worry about escaping the defenders and getting upfield.
No dice on that prior pass. Here's 2nd down. From the gun, a give to Brown. And it's a nice gain, but still not enough for the first.
So much to like about that run, Kate, particularly what he was able to get out of it. The defense, I think, feels a little fortunate they were able to track him down before an even bigger run in crossing that 1st down marker.
1 yard, all that's needed. This is 3rd and inches. Out of the shotgun, Burrow. Throw left side, and Gesicki has it. And he's caught behind the line for a loss.
Here we go. Here's one of those game situations that just puts a smile on my face, because I can think from Pop Warner to the NFL, everybody on the field thinking the same thing. Can we go for it? Can we get one more shot as you end up just short on that 3rd down?
The Bengals send out the punting unit. Xavier Gipson on to return for the Jets. And he's getting nothing on that return. They wrap him up almost at the exact spot that he fielded that punt. The Jets and Breece Hall about set to go on offense. Call that a 64-yard punt officially. And the Jets are starting deep from their own territory here. They're out and set. 1st and 10. From the shotgun, Rodgers. This will be caught by Adams. And that's good yardage with a new set of downs.
A gain of 14. 1st down, Jets.
Ball at the 33 for 1st down. Hall running between the tackles. And the power play up the gut only results in 2 yards.
You know, Kate, I like to call these body blows. Body blows. You got to be committed to running the football. Even if it doesn't move the chains, I guarantee you that wear and tear will pay dividends later.
8 yards to go. Let's see how they approach this 2nd down. Here's Hall once more. And once again, he doesn't manage much before getting brought down. A couple yards on the run. It's 3rd and 6 now. Throwing from the gun here. He had it for a moment, but a great defensive play to jar it loose. Incomplete. Well, I know some old-school coaches, maybe some former NFL quarterbacks who would have this guy running stairs after that drop, partner. Hit or no hit. That was a catch there that would have meant a 1st down.
Yeah, that's why that's old school, okay, Kate? The new school coaches and quarterbacks know how hard it is in this league with the contact. How valuable those contested catches are. Credit the defense for making the play on that one.
That punt goes unanswered. No return there. And it'll be Bengals football. Here come the Bengals to take over once again. Things sure have started out rough, and they've stayed that way through 2 drives. Maybe drive number 3 here is where we see this offense get rolling. They'll get this drive started. 1st and 10. Here's Burrow. On target to his man Higgins. He makes it in for the Cincinnati touchdown. The Bengals start to fight back with their first points of this game. T. Higgins, the touchdown. I love plays like this, Brock. Sometimes you just gotta ask your dude, show me what you got, man. Show off those wheels, and he did just that.
Yeah, beauty in simplicity, right?
Yep.
Now, when you run that fly route, you gotta win right from the jump. And you gotta protect yourself from the sideline, too. Don't get pushed to the boundary. Give your quarterback room to throw it up, and you can find pay dirt.
Extra point added on by McPherson. And the Bengals cut it to a field goal game. Volley set up, and it's away. Just a three-point game now. Gibson now to return. And a decent return ends as they bring him down inside the 30. After that return, he's looking pretty banged up out there. We're going to have a stoppage as team personnel comes out to look at him. Drive starts out with a 1st and 10. They start the drive with Hall, and he's brought down for a loss. We're to the 2-minute warning from the jungle. And it's the Jets with work to do on 2nd and 12. Now here's Rodgers. That's caught. It's Breece Hall. And he gets it forward, is still about a yard out of that. Mike Hilton getting up there for the tackle. We get a timeout now from the Bengals. That's going to be their first. They'll have 2 left to work with before halftime. What's in the playbook here as they come up on 3rd and 11. Hall takes it straight ahead, and he'll take it up to the 30 before being brought down. Cincinnati uses its 2nd timeout, and they still have 1 in their pocket for what's left of this half. Here comes the punting unit for the Jets. And this will be his 2nd effort of the contest. And the sunlight's not a problem for him. He looks up and makes the fair catch. The Bengals and T. Higgins back in possession here. So no return on that punt. And they'll get ready to go on offense. And the drive will start out with a 1st and 10. Burrow to the air now. He's got a man left. They get 18 yards out of it and a new set of downs.
You want to become a quarterback's best friend, do that. Turn a short little gain, a short little pass into some yards after catch, and that quarterback will find you again.
Great start to the drive. They're up in the neighborhood of midfield after just 1 play. 1st down, Burrow to throw. And someone stepped in. It's intercepted. Sauce Gardner with the INT.
Well, nickel has really become the base defense for so many teams in the league because the passing game has become so prevalent today. It really makes it so much more difficult to find an open throwing lane. It gives defenses a lot more speed on the back end to step in front of passes just like that.
The Jets have their offense ready to go again. They seem likely to carry the lead into the locker room, but some points here to end the half could make things even more comfortable. Here's 1st and 10 from the 34. To throw, Rodgers. Quick slant into the hands of Corley. And that's good for a gain of 5. The play brought to an end by Logan Wilson. Offense to the line for 2nd down. From the 39. Connects on the crosser. And he's tackled after getting this to the opposing 46. He picks up 15 on the play. And it's good enough for a New York 1st down. The Jets take their first time out. They'll have 2 left to work with before halftime. New set of downs for him from the 46. Throwing on 1st down, Rodgers. Conklin brings it in. And he works this to the 38 before going down. After a good pickup, they're set up with 2nd and short. Throwing again, it's Rodgers. Wilson's got it. And he'll pick up enough to move the chains. Timeout taken by New York. That's its 2nd. And they still have 1 in their pocket for what's left of this half.
There's no question the greatest concern there was just getting the 1st down. You want a high percentage throw, and you're not really concerned about big yards. Well, the drag route was perfect. He comes open in the short field. It's easy to zip that throw right in there and reset those chains.
They've got 1st down from the 31. Again, Rodgers. Sideline shot is snagged by Corley. They gain 14 on the play. And it'll give the Jets a 1st down.
Kate, when you watch the combine, you'll watch guys try to make this throw. And without chemistry, it's so hard to execute. That was picture perfect. That's a QB and receiver on the same page, because that route, that deep out to the field, that takes just a different level of connectedness.
They'll keep this drive moving and come to the line for 1st and 10. They'll throw again, Rodgers. This time they're going to get there, and they drop him. And the big play drives them backwards. 2nd down coming up.
That sure ended up being a worst-case scenario. Pass rush just kept coming and bearing down. And he was looking for an escape that wasn't there. Just one of those plays in hindsight, Kate, where you really got to understand, I got to cut bait, cut my losses, and avoid such a negative play.
Let's see what they dial up on a 2nd and very long. Now, just before the break, a timeout taken by the offense, and they can try for some points going into the break. Greg Zuerlein going to try to knock this through for the Jets. Ball on the right hash, the distance 43 yards. Bass's kick is good. And that'll double their lead to 6.
Inspiring a bunch of confidence in himself right there, Kate. 2nd time they brought him out for a field goal, and 2nd time, well, he's knocked it right through. Trust is earned in a number of different ways on the field, but that's the best way to gain it as a kicker.
Well, Brock, barring the touchback, this kickoff should run out the half, so better make that return good as it's away. From a couple of yards deep, this is going to come out. He's hauled down on what is the final play of our 1st half. So at the end of 2, the Jets really playing road warriors here. They've got the lead. Now we'll send you south to Orlando for a check-in around the league via Jonathan Coachman and the EA Sports Halftime Reports. Coach, what you got for us?
All right, Kate, thanks very much. Back to you and Brock in a bit. But first, time for our EA Sports Halftime Reports. We were treated to a solid first half out of the running back, Breece Hall. He had a touchdown run that helped get his guys this halftime lead. Both these teams making their way out of the tunnel, and we're ready for the second half. And for the call, we send it back to Kate Scott and the other blonde bomber, Brock Hewitt.
All right, thank you, Coach, and we are back and about set to begin the second half. Zerline has it all teed up and ready to send it away. Returning it from the 4. They'll have decent field position to begin with here, Brock. He's tackled just beyond that 30-yard line. The Bengals and Joe Burrow all set to take over. And there's a couple of moments we're seeing here that I think he's not going to want to be reminded of after this game. Turnovers have just interrupted his performance in this one. Made it really tough for him and this team to get into and stay in any kind of rhythm.
Well, that's exactly the way you want to come out of the locker room to begin the second half. And really, Kate, this third phase of the game, the special teams, you just see the boost and the energy they can give to their team when they deliver a nice return to start this second half.
They've got first down from the 31. Trying to shake off the interception. He's looking to throw. Couldn't connect across the middle. It's an incomplete pass. That was Jamar Chase he was looking for there. So second down coming up.
That's a throw that's got to go somewhere else. Double coverage waiting for it. They were thinking interception for a second. And incompletion is still pretty good, too.
Couldn't connect on first. It's second down. Now a shotgun handoff to Brown. And he's going to manage a lone yard on that drive up the gut. Brought to a halt by C.J. Mosley. Only a yard for him that time, so now 3rd and 9. Burrow from the gun. Complete beyond the marker. Keeps on moving into the red zone. And he's going to take this in. Touchdown, Cincinnati! The Bengals find some points there. T. Higgins, the touchdown. His second scoring catch of the game. A second touchdown through the air for him, Brock, and independent of the game situation, we both know he's going to be happy to leave the field with 2 of them in one game.
1 touchdown, you just might be right time, right place, but 2 touchdowns in a game is always about the preparation. The separations and the preparation. It's doing that work on the practice field and knowing before the game that when my number's called, I'm going to be there to deliver.
Point after up and good by McPherson. And the Bengals take the lead on that successful kick. Here's McPherson on to handle the kickoff. Gibson now to return. Coverage team gets him down at the 26-yard line. The Jets out to begin another drive. They find themselves trailing after the opening drive touchdown, and heck, it really set up to be an entertaining second half if they're able to answer here. Offense ready to begin this drive, 1st and 10. They start the half with a give to Hall. Stiff arms, avoids a defender. We've got a foot race. Give him 15 yards on the pickup there. And it's good enough for a New York first down.
Hey, look, Kate, you can't just ask one tackler to go mano-a-mano and stop this guy. You got to have the cavalry coming. One guy makes a hit, the others are there to clean up and pile on, because one-on-one, he's going to run right through you.
First down, Rodgers. Pocket isn't holding up. They're able to drop it. And a big play drives them backwards. Second down coming up.
And right there's the danger, Kate, when you put the ball in the air. How many times do we see these coordinators, when you get a nice run, right, you gain some steam on the ground, you stick with the ground game. They don't. They call the pass, and the defense reacts, and reacts well with a sack.
Everyone's prepped. It's second down now. A give left side for Hall. And he found some running room for a nice gain. Call it 8 yards on that pickup, and an even 10 remain on third down. Rodgers here from the gun. And he just gets rid of this one, but unfortunately, that means fourth down coming up.
This is why we hear about closing speed so often when you evaluate players. You know, once he senses the pressure, he's getting rid of that ball. It takes a player who can close quickly to get to him before it's released and alter that throw.
Punting unit out now. And he finally gets a hold of one here. This is hit far. And he can't evade the coverage team for much. They stop him before he gets really anything on that return. It's a 61-yard punt that time. And the Bengals are going to be backed up to begin this drive. They're out and set, first and 10. Play action now, Burrow. And he just gets rid of it. Knew he had a couple of plays left. Didn't want to take a risk there on first down.
Everybody wants to play quarterback until a play like that. Almost no resistance off the ball and the defense ready to maul you. It was all he could do to get rid of it before he gets just clocked.
So after the incompletion, here comes the second down call. Straight ahead, it's Brown. He's descended upon quickly and dropped after it looks like a yard gain. Brought to a halt by C.J. Mosley. Only a yard from that time, so now 3rd and 9. Burrow. He just throws this one away.
So many coaches love 3rd downs, and they practice them so much, Kate. Why? Because they're the money down in the NFL. Whether it's a close game already out of hand, coaches know, got to execute and convert on these 3rd downs.
They're out now, ready to punt it. And he wants to hit his second effort just as well as he hit his first. And before that return amounts to much, they bring him down. The Jets and this running back headed back out for a new series. And his production is carried over into this second half. He keeps on running well, even with the workload they've placed upon him. Nice field position for the Jets as they come up 1st and 10. Working out of the gun, it's Rodgers. That one is incomplete. Couldn't hang on through the contact. Working across the middle, Brock, it is tough for anybody to make plays through all that mess, even when you're the biggest and baddest pass catcher on the roster.
But as a tight end, you're going to be disappointed because that's what you're paid to do. It's one thing for those undersized receivers you talk about. It's another one for these big tight ends. You are paid to make that catch through contact, and he couldn't do it.
That's completed right side. And they finally bring him down, but that is a big gain and a new set of downs. How about 29 yards on that play, partner, as they get the chains reset?
Yeah, these in cuts maybe aren't the hardest throws from a degree of difficulty, Kate, but it does take some courage as a quarterback to throw into congested spaces, but it can pay big dividends.
A new set of downs forthcoming. It's 1st and 10. Now Rodgers. Hits him on the out route. He's contained at the line for no gain. The play brought to an end by Logan Wilson.
Defense all over that throw. You could just smell it. They just smelled that football coming their way, and that's as good as an incompletion. And they're going to be in a good spot. 2nd down coming up.
2nd and 10. Need to get some positive yardage here. From the gun, it's Hall. And he manages to reach the 19 before he stopped. Only 2 yards on the play, and it brings up 3rd and 8. From the shotgun, Rodgers. And in, touchdown, New York! So that, Brock, an important score here as they move out in front.
This is the time of the game where your legs just get a little bit tired, but that was a determined-looking drive right there. They were not going to be denied, and they're able to score and take the lead.
Now the Jets keeping the offense on the field. They're going to go for 2. Rodgers trying to throw for it. And they beat the defense with the throw and get 2 following the touchdown. Well, it may be stating the obvious, partner. I do that sometimes often, but tight ends, such a mismatch this close in. And no surprise, they went his way for that 2-point conversion.
Yeah, it's one of those guys, security blanket. Whether he's designed read or not, this quarterback knows that tight end's a great outlet. Why? Because often they're bigger and they're stronger. Even if they're double teamed, there's still that chance to get that entry pass like a great post in basketball, and they know how to finish.
Zerline has it all teed up and ready to send it away. Fielded at the 7. And he's going to make this to the 28 before going down. The offense returning to the field now as we get a look at their wideouts. And their touchdown back, Brock, as they take over down 21-14. They'll get this drive started. 1st and 10. Burrow out of the shotgun. Defender arrives right as the ball does, and the hit knocks it free. Incomplete. Hit arrived as the ball did to break things up. And it's going to be 2nd down. This is a guy who's used to embracing contact, Brock. Usually makes catches in spite of it, but I guess it's tough for anybody to make a play every time.
Yeah, I think these tight ends today, Kate, spend as much time in the old ice bath as just about anybody. And when you don't make that catch and you take the contact, well, that stings like the first seconds in the ice.
And he's tackled for a short gain.
This defense didn't give up contain there, Kate. That was an instance where the more exciting plays were taken away downfield. And even looking to the tight end wasn't going to net them much.
Drive in dire straits. It's 3rd and 9. Out of the shotgun, Burrow. He puts some juice on a deep... That's grabbed inside the 30. Touchdown, Cincinnati! The Bengals can tie it up after hitting pay dirt in the 3rd. It's a Jamar Chase touchdown. So sensational work by the skill man there, Brock. Anytime you can make your quarterback look that good, you know he appreciates it.
That's a quarterback's best friend, no question. But on the other side, gosh, defensively, you got to get that skill player down. Period, end of story. You can't give up that much yards after catch.
McPherson at the point after. Extra point sent right down the middle. And the Bengals tie this game at 21. McPherson on to handle the kickoff. Gibson now to return. And in the end, he's able to get it to what used to be a touchback. It's at the 25 after the return. The Jets and receiver Garrett Wilson back out to take possession. And this is an important drive to get momentum back after that touchdown tied things up. Drive starts out with a 1st and 10. Shotgun snap, a give to Hall. And he found some running room for a nice gain. It's an 8-yard pickup, and they're going to have 2nd and 2 next.
That's what I call a rhythm starter right there. The offenses love execution and plays like that on 1st down, Kate, because now that playbook is wide open. All options on the table for 2nd down.
After a good pickup, they're set up with 2nd and short. They go right back to Hall. And his short gain gets them a new set of downs.
You know, Coach gets in that QB's headset, probably told his offense and his QB, listen, I don't want to see a 3rd down on this possession. Or something kind of like that. Whatever version he told him, it worked.
They're set up at the 35 now. They're trying an option play left side on 1st down. And the defense gets there to force a small loss. After 3 quarters, we're still neck and neck. Neither side has been able to fully separate. It's all knotted up at 21. Plenty of scoring here as we begin the final quarter. All right, here we go. 2nd down. They'll go right side with Hall. And he's caught behind the line for a loss.
This coordinator tried to show some trust and belief in his offense. A run after a negative run? Well, you lose a lot of equity and belief in that coordinator. I don't think he's going to try a 3rd run after back-to-back negative losses.
It's a dime look defensively from the Bengals. 3rd down. Now looking to throw with Rodgers. He has the first over the middle. And he's officially into enemy territory now. They're going to give him the opposing 49. How about that play, Brock? On 3rd and 14, they find a way to convert. First and 10 from a yard shy of midfield. It's Hall on the carry. And he's able to power this forward, but they stop him after 2 yards.
Okay, the 2-yard run on first down, I think that keeps you ahead of schedule. But you're going to have to pick up the pace.
8 yards to go. Let's see how they approach this second down. From the 48. And it's good yardage, but they tackle him short of the sticks.
Kid, I promise you, if you and I got to travel the country and watch young quarterbacks, even really good high school quarterbacks, out routes are the hardest to complete. Slants, goes, fades, all that stuff comes somewhat naturally, but really trusting yourself to throw that out route, that comes with time and experience.
3rd and 1, now Rodgers. Has him on the quick hitter. And he works this to the 38 before going down. 3 yards there and enough to move the chains.
First down, Jets.
New set of downs for him at the 38. First down throw by Rodgers. This will be caught by Adams. And he's going to be brought down at the 23-yard line. He picks up 15 on the play. And it'll give the Jets a first down.
Time and again, receivers will tell their quarterbacks, just give me a chance. Just give me a chance. Just throw it up and give me the opportunity. Well, in this case, with even 2 defenders trying to cover that wide receiver, couldn't get it done.
Still on the move, coming to the line for 1st and 10. Throwing once again, Rodgers. Short pass brought in. And he's got it inside the 15 before going out.
Kate, if you and I took a whirlwind tour and watched young quarterbacks, the hardest route to complete is this one. A lot of them could throw go routes and slants and drags and in cuts, but throwing that out route takes some time, takes some precision, and a whole bunch of trust between QB and receiver.
Now here's Rodgers. Able to hit home, complete. Just a single yard, but that's going to be enough to move the chains.
You know, you compare and contrast stats over the decades, Kate. One thing you see is the completion percentages are through the roof. In this day and age, compared to the 60s and the 70s, a big reason is just completions like that. Utilizing every one of your eligible receivers that time, a running back in the flat.
He brings it in. And they bring him down at the 7-yard line.
It takes a certain level of fearlessness, craziness to work over the middle of the field in this league. You're fighting through guys as you go, and all the while you know you can take a lick at any time.
Halfway to the marker, it's 2nd and 5. Again, Rodgers. He's got it. And he's tackled with the first down yardage.
Look up contested catch in the football dictionary, and you'll see that. I mean, I can't critique the defense there. They're in the hip pocket of that tight end. But these contested catches, these tight ends that can separate with their hands, utilize their body, even when you're covered, you're not.
Hall's going to try to smash his way in. Goes up and over for the touchdown. The Jets take a 4th quarter lead. Breece Hall with the touchdown. Brock, we all use literally far too often these days, and sometimes in the wrong context, but this guy has literally driven his team to a lead here. His 2nd score puts him in front in this second half.
Yeah, and hopefully some of that determination, that want to, he showed on that run could seep over to his defenders who are right now buckling up with a newly acquired lead. That way the next time he takes the field, well, that lead will still be on the board.
Zerline has it all teed up and ready to send it away. His return starts at the 5. He stopped on the return at the 27. The Bengals are being led back out there on offense by their quarterback. And on that last drive, Brock, he crossed a notable threshold in passing yards for the season. Always nice when you can reach one of those plateaus to look back on after the year's over. And the drive will start out with a 1st and 10. Burrow back to throw. Higgins makes the catch. And he'll get it out to the 34 before he's tracked down.
It's a gain of 7. Brings up 2nd and 3 at the 34-yard line.
We've reached the 2-minute warning from Cincy. Bengals down by 7. 2nd and 3 now. From the 34. Pass caught along the sideline by Gesicki. And they push this down to the opposing 47-yard line. A 19-yard pickup, and that's going to move the chains.
Sure nice to see them looking for their tight ends in the passing game. Such great size to have out there. It really forces defenses to try to find a way to defend them along with everybody else.
Football on that 47-yard line, 1st down. Back to throw. Got his target, it's Higgins. And he's brought down after pushing to that 35-yard line. We get a timeout now from the Bengals. That's going to be their 1st. And they can take a moment to try to build more momentum after getting the 1st. They're set up at the 35 now. Here he is to throw. That's Gesicki. He's got it. And he's able to take this one down to the 25. Bengals have to move here. Clock's running as they hustle to the line. He'll look to throw it. Got a man. It's Gesicki. Just a couple of yards here as he heads for the sideline. This one goes for 3 yards. And it sets up a Cincinnati 1st down.
Well, they got him down before he could do any more damage in terms of yards. That's no easy job, mind you, tackling a big tight end. But the main damage had already been done. He kept this drive going by getting beyond the line of gain.
He's on the move. He takes it himself. Timeout taken by the offense, their 2nd. Still one more in their pocket to use. After a good pickup, they're set up with 2nd and short. Setting up to pass. And he gets him the touchdown. And now a potential game-deciding play call coming up. So they get the all-important touchdown here late in the game, Brock. Now the question, play for the tie or go for 2 and the lead?
And I know they've got all these charts and numbers and analytics to tell you what to do, but this comes down to the gut and the trust of the hip.
Now hang on, they want to take another look at this play, and a very important call coming up late in this game.
Previous play is under review.
Well, we're going to see how much of a sideline maven he is, Brock. This one very close, whether he got the feet down or not.
And I'm so impressed by all these mavens because you've got to make that transition from college where 1 foot, you're good.
Yep.
But not at this level. You've got to be a ballerina. You got to get those toes both in, and the replay booth will be the judge of it.
After review of the play, the ruling on the field stands.
So they sent it to a 2nd set of eyes in New York, and the call on the field is confirmed. In the 11th hour, now a point after try to tie this game. And everyone can breathe easier now. His try is good, and they found a way to tie it late in the 4th.